Now discuss the femoral triangle. This is also called as the Scarpa's triangle. So this is the triangular which is present in front of the upper one third of the thigh below the inguinal ligament. If you see in this picture, this is the inguinal ligament present here, and just below this inguinal ligament is a triangle present. This is called as the femoral triangle. So this is present in the upper one third of the thigh, front of the thigh. So this is called as the femoral triangle. So this triangle, if you see, it is a reverse triangle with the base upwards and the apex downwards. So the base is toward the inguinal ligament. This is the inguinal ligament which extends from the anterior superior leg spine up to the pubic tubercle. This is the ligament here, a very important landmark, and this forms the base for this triangle, and the apex is directed downwards. So here also you can see this is the same triangle with the base upwards and the apex is directed downwards. So whenever it is a triangle, then there should be three boundaries. So what are the boundaries here? Laterally we have the medial border of the sartorius. We have studied the sartorius. This is one of the muscles of the anterior compartment of the thigh. So this sartorius muscle has a lateral border and a medial border. So the medial border of the sartorius will form the lateral boundary. Okay. Similarly, medially, if you see here, there will be a muscle called as the adductor longus. In this picture, it has not been shown, but here you can see this is the adductor longus muscle. There is a muscle here. So the medial border of the adductor longus, not the lateral border, but the medial border of the adductor longus will also form the medial boundary. So medial border of the sartorius, here is the medial border of the sartorius, medial border of the adductor longus medially, and the base is formed by the inguinal ligament. As I said before, the base is formed by the inguinal ligament. These are the three boundaries of the femoral triangle: base by the inguinal ligament, laterally by the medial border of the sartorius, and medially by the medial border of the adductor longus. The apex, as I said before, it is directed downwards, but it is not sharp, but it is blunt, and it will be continuing below as a canal. This is called as the adductor canal. Again, we'll study the adductor canal in detail later. So you should know that the apex is not totally close, but it has an opening. It continues. The contents of this femoral triangle will continue, or some of the contents will come through this canal into the femoral triangle. So this canal here which is present, this is called as the adductor canal. So the apex of this femoral triangle will continue as the adductor canal. Here you can see this is the femoral triangle, and it is continuing, the apex is continuing into the adductor canal. Roof is formed by the skin, then the superficial fascia. As you know, as soon as you reflect the skin, then you see the superficial fascia. Here in this superficial fascia, it is important because there are some very important contents. One is the superficial group of inguinal lymph nodes. So here is the inguinal ligament. So around that there are superficial inguinal group of lymph nodes. As you have already studied, there are medial and lateral, vertical, as well as the oblique group of lymph nodes which are superficial. Then deep to that there are also a deep inguinal group of lymph nodes. So here what you see in the superficial fascia will be the superficial group of lymph nodes. You can see here in the picture there are superficial group of inguinal group of lymph nodes. Along with that there is also femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. So if you see here, this is the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. Along with that there is also a nerve which is called as the ilioinguinal nerve. So you can also see the ilioinguinal nerve, and superficial branch of the femoral artery with accompanying veins can also be traced here, as well as the upper part of the great saphenous vein. This is the very important vein which will be draining into the femoral vein. This is called as this is the superficial vein, great saphenous vein, which has a lot of clinical importance, especially in case of the varicosity of this vein. especially in people who stand for a very long time. That is called as the varicose vein. So this is the great saphenous vein, which is opening into a opening called as the saphenous opening, and it is covered by the cribriform fascia. Here there will be a fascia or over this opening that will be called as the cribriform fascia, and this opening is called as the saphenous opening, and through this opening the saphenous the great saphenous vein will be opening into the femoral vein. Coming to the floor is formed by four muscles. In this picture you can appreciate the four muscle. The floor is formed by the adductor longus itself. Adductor longus not only form the boundary, the medial border of the adductor longus form the medial boundary. Along with that, this muscle also form the floor of this triangle. The second muscle is the pectineus. Here you can see here, this is the pectineus. Then there is the tendon of the psoas major, and then we have the iliacus. The psoas as well as the iliacus together they are called as iliopsoas. Okay, so these are the four muscles which will form the floor of this triangle. So the adductor longus medially, then we have the pectineus on the lateral side, and lateral to that will be the tendon of the psoas major, and the most lateral will be the iliacus. These are the four muscles from medial to lateral side. So here you can see the psoas major muscle, and this is the iliacus, which is coming from the iliac fossa. So these two together form a gutter like thing, and these two together are called as the iliopsoas. So it resembles a gutter lodging the fat profunda femoris artery and its medial circumflex branch of the femoral artery. So these are the two muscles which form a gutter, iliopsoas. Now coming to the content, why this triangle is so important. So it depends on the content. So what are the content? One is a very important artery that is called as the femoral artery. This is the femoral artery. In this picture you can see this is the femoral artery and its important branches, especially the medial and lateral circumflex femoral artery, profunda femoris artery, all these are the branches. So this is the femoral artery, which is again very important clinically, especially in case of the lower limb. You are supposed to examine, if they ask you to examine the pulsation of the femoral artery, this is the place where you are supposed to feel the pulsation just below the inguinal ligament. So this is the femoral artery here. Then just medial to that is the femoral vein and its tributaries. So this is the femoral vein and its tributaries. The branches of the veins are called as tributaries because they will be draining into the larger vein. Okay. The third content is the femoral sheath. Both the artery and the vein are covered by a modified deep fascia, which is called as the femoral sheath. So there will be a sheath around the structures. This is called as the femoral sheath. Then we can also trace some of the nerves. If you can see here, just beside the femoral artery, there is a very important nerve. This is called as the femoral nerve. So everything is femoral here. This is the femoral triangle, femoral artery, femoral vein, as well as the femoral nerve. So you can see here on the lateral side of the femoral artery is the femoral nerve. Apart from the femoral nerve, we can also trace the nerve to pectineus in this triangle, as well as the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. We can also trace the lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh in this triangle. All these are the nerves which can be traced in this triangle. All these are not shown in this picture, but these are all nerves, the smaller nerves which can be seen. But you can see here the femoral nerve, other nerves will also be present. The deep inguinal lymph nodes can also be traced. We have seen that in the superficial fascia we have the superficial group of inguinal lymph nodes. Now in the deep fascia, deep to the deep fascia, we can also trace the deep inguinal group of lymph nodes, which are clinically again very important. These lymph nodes will be draining the lower limb. As we said, the femoral sheath will be present in the femoral triangle. It is a funnel-shaped fascial sleeve enclosing the upper 1.5 inches of the vessel. If you see in this picture, so this is the femoral artery and the femoral vein, and these are covered by something called as the femoral sheath, which is nothing but a fascial sleeve. How it is formed? It is formed by downward extension of the abdominal fascia. The anterior wall by the fascia transversalis and the posterior wall by the fascia iliaca. If you see the picture here, in this, if you can see here, this is the picture of the longitudinal section of the abdomen and the pelvis. Here this is the anti-abdominal wall. So these are the abdominal contents here, and this is the genital region. And if you see here, behind the anti-abdominal wall muscle, we can see a fascia here. This is called as a fascia transversalis, and behind we have the fascia iliaca. These two will come down and descend as the femoral sheath. Okay, so this is the fascia transversalis, which is supposed to form the anterior wall for this femoral sheath, and the posterior wall is formed by the fascia iliaca. So here you can see the posterior wall is formed by the fascia iliaca. These two fascias will descend down into the pelvis and actually into the upper limb in the deep to the deep fascia, and then you can see this as the continuation into the femoral triangle as the femoral sheath, and this will be covering some of the important structures like the femoral artery and the femoral vein. If you see the shape of this femoral sheath, it is funnel shape. Its lateral wall is vertical and medial wall is oblique. If you see the next picture here, if you can see here, this is how it looks like. So here are the structures inside that, and these structures are covered by this fascial sleeve. So the lateral wall is vertical, so this is the lateral wall, and the medial wall is almost oblique. So this is what is mentioned here. So its lateral wall is vertical and the medial wall is oblique. So that's why it looks like a funnel. It is funnel shape, and it is directed downwards as well as medially depending on the shape. The size of this femoral sheath is, as I said, it is almost 1.5 inches or 3 to 4 centimeters in length. And this is how it looks like when we take a cross section of the abdomen as well as the pelvis and the upper limb, and then you can see this is how this fascial sheath will look like after the skin superficial fascia deep fascia, deep to that in case of the just below the inguinal ligament. This is how it looks like. So this sleeve, fascial sleeve, or the femoral sheath is divided into 3 compartments by 2 vertical septas. So if you can see here, this is the cross section of this is the femoral sheath, and if you take a cross section, this is how it looks like with all its contents. So here you can see there are 2 vertical septas which divide this whole of the sheath into 3 compartments. The first or the most lateral compartment is also called as the arterial compartment, consists of the femoral artery. Because of the femoral artery presence, that's why it is called as the arterial compartment, or it is because it is on the lateral side, that's why it is called as the lateral compartment. Here also you can see the same structures. Here is the femoral artery. Along with the femoral artery, there is also a nerve which is called as the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. So this is the nerve which you are seeing, femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve. Here also you can see the cross section, the femoral artery, along with that is the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. So this is in the lateral compartment. The second compartment medial to that is the intermediate compartment, or it is also called as the venous compartment because of the presence of the femoral vein. Here you can see here again this one. So here you can see this is the femoral vein. So this femoral vein is present in the intermediate compartment, also called as the venous compartment. The most medial compartment is empty. So this is almost empty except a few group of lymph nodes. So this is also called as the medial compartment, or also called as lymphatic compartment, because of the presence of small group of lymph nodes. Even though this is empty, this compartment is empty, but this is the most important compartment of all these three, because this is clinically important. This compartment is also called as the femoral canal. And here, as I said, you can see small group of lymph nodes, half into half inches of size lymph nodes, also called as the lymph nodes of the Rosenmuller, or lymph nodes of the Cloquet, along with lymphatics and small amount of areolar tissue. That's what you can see here, small quantity of fat along with the small group of lymph nodes. But why it is important? Because this is the potential space, and weakness of this area leads to the clinical conditions called as the femoral hernia. The abdominal contents, as you can see in the previous picture, so these fascias are coming from the abdomen. Fascia transversalis and the fascia iliaca are from the abdomen. So when they become weak, so the abdominal contents like the intestine, the bladder, or something like that also descend along this route, especially in the most medial compartment, which is also called as the femoral canal, because it is almost empty. In other compartments we have the artery, vein, everything, they are totally occupying these areas, but here, because it is empty, almost empty, with small group of lymph nodes and fat, so this becomes the potential space for the protrusion of any abnormal protrusion of the abdominal contents through the abdomen into the femoral canal, and this leads to conditions called as the femoral hernias. So these are the three compartments of this femoral sheath.